Well, hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite back at you with a little update video on what's going around here at the homestead. We've had some of the most beautiful weather. My granddad always used to say that there was only about 10 perfect days in any given year, and he lived in upstate New York. We're blessed to be living here in North Carolina, where at last count I did 18 perfect days. Now, it's all relative to the individual. Here in North Carolina, my personal preferences and my definition of a perfect day is a high temperature between 68 and 70, maybe 67 and 71, somewhere around in there. Very low humidity, cloudless skies, a very light breeze, and just to enjoy that perfect weather. It's just such a wonderful thing. With that said, we got 17 so far. I expect that today's going to qualify as number 18, so we'll have to see how that all turns out by the end of today. Been working on this dead tree that fell across the creek and onto my property, and finally got the last bit of rounds chunked up and bucked up. They're still a little bit too wet to split. They are just really tough. This is an old Tulip Poplar. It's about 24 inches in diameter near the base where I've been cutting. I'm about 12 feet from the trunk, from the root ball that's over on the other side of the creek. But here it's about 22 to 24 inches. Down there it's probably 28, maybe even 30 inches at the base. It's a pretty old tree, best I can tell. I haven't counted the rings yet, but that may be a fun thing to do later today. But that's what I've been up to. A couple of things I wanted to talk about in this video. We've got a couple of very important gubernatorial races around the country. I wanted to give you my thoughts on what's going on there, plus all the rest of the nonsense that's going on. If anybody really wanted to try to dismantle everything that's been built that's made America great in the last 9 months, I know the guy that's been doing it. So stick around, I'll share some thoughts. In our neighboring state of Virginia, it's the Commonwealth of Virginia, there's a gubernatorial race where we've got a Democrat and a Republican pretty much neck and neck. I'm not going to mention any names because I'm pretty sure that our censors at YouTube are monitoring for names and all that kind of stuff. But from what I can tell, it's not necessarily a party line kind of a race that's going on there, but it's an ideological one. Got one that's wanting pretty much full state control over everything that's going on, education-wise, gun rights-wise, Second Amendment-wise, and the other one that's taking a very conservative point of view, saying, hey, parents have the prerogative to deal with educational curriculum, and they need to be involved in that. Parents are people too, kind of a thing. So it's a pretty important race, and it's so tight. The last polls that I saw, they were like so close, fractional, with less than a week to go in that particular race. Also, in the state of New Jersey, there's another race going on there where we've got a Democrat and a Republican, pretty much the same kind of ideological basis or split in the messaging and in the approach to governance in the state of New Jersey. I don't know where you may stand on these issues, but ideologically, it certainly sounds like the one party is pushing for totalitarianism, for authoritarianism, for every decision to be made by the state for your benefit because you don't know any better. And the other side of the coin is folks that say, hey, people can think, people can do good things, people can, it must need to be involved in what's going on, and they're independent, they're thinkers, they've got the right of free speech, they've got the right to make decisions, the right to be involved, and the other side is just basically poo-pooing the whole thing. If you live in Virginia, if you live in New Jersey, I gotta urge you to get out and vote, and make sure you're voting for the candidate that represents your ideology, your belief system, and your values. It's very, very important. The vote is basically all we've got left right now before something else may happen. On the side of being prepared, I have spent quite a lot of money over the last couple of months or so expanding our preps. Investing in rice, investing in beans and 5-gallon buckets and gamma lids, and getting things around ready so that I can pretty much double is the initial goal. Pretty much double what I already had, and I think I had at least a year's worth of stuff for just the two of us, my wife and me. But as I look around, I've got adult children, I've got grandchildren. In fact, one of our granddaughters is staying with us right now, trying to figure out exactly what she wants to be doing with her life. And it dawned on me a few weeks ago that, you know, they're still looking to me for the leadership. They're looking to the old man to guide them, to do the right stuff, to be ready. And I suspect that if the big S does hit the fan, that I'm going to have folks here at the homestead. Now, with that said, looking at a year's worth of food estimated for just the two of us, my wife and me, obviously have got to go much, much farther than that. So canned goods, canned meat, rice, beans, seasonings, canned goods, vegetables, cooking oil, vinegar, all that kind of stuff, plus all the rest of the stuff that a lot of times you really don't think about. Extra parts for your equipment, spark plugs for your chainsaws and your gas-powered whatever you've got, leaf blowers and hedge trimmers and line trimmers, all that kind of stuff. You're going to need extra parts for that, and if the supply chain is as cracked and broken as it is right now, and you can find that stuff now, stock up on it. Get the extra drive belts for your lawnmower, get the extra batteries for this or for that, get the extra oil that you're going to need to do oil changes in your vehicle and in your lawnmowers and in your riding tractors and stuff like that. I've been spending some time and money investing in that. I've got extra stuff that I know where it is and it's here, and I don't have to worry about trying to get to the local supply store, the local hardware store, the gas station, whatever. I'm stocked up on extra gasoline, stocked up on extra propane. In fact, I'm looking at picking up another camp stove, chef, I can't remember what they're called, just the 2-burner propane stoves, so that we've got one more option to cook our food on and to do canning, stuff like that. So looking at that kind of stuff, I urge you to do the same. Take a look at where you are with your preps right now. Take a look at the current environment out there with inflation and potential hyperinflation, with potential tax increases, the inflation that's going crazy, costing us more money. Thanksgiving dinner, for example, is supposed to cost like 25 or 30 or 40 bucks more this year than it did last year. So, and whether you can find a turkey, I don't know. I haven't seen any turkey in my local supermarkets, but it's still a month away for Thanksgiving. But as soon as I start seeing frozen turkeys, I'm going to pick them up and going to get more than one. Get a 20-pounder for the family dinner and maybe a 10 or 12-pounder for us for later. So we'll have to see how that all turns out. But take a look at what's really going on. What's going on around you. Take a look at your grocery stores, whether they've got the food in stock, whether the shelves are stocked up with the right kind of stuff. I'm starting to see folks, other prepping YouTubers are saying that they're seeing what looks to be like a full stocked shelf, but it may be duplicity, extra whatever, extra paper towels or extra this or that hasn't been selling real well, and they're putting it in 3 or 4 different places around the store so that it looks like they're fully stocked, but they really don't have the stuff that you need. I tried to find the 1-pound bags of beans, Great Northerns and chick beans and that kind of stuff, just to have a few extras around. And we were at the local Walmart superstore just the other day. They had a few packages, but they weren't the real quality kind of stuff. So I was a little concerned about that. They only had the little 1-pound things. For rice at that particular Walmart superstore, they had 2-pound packages, 5-pound packages, and 2 maybe 10-pound packages, but that was it. It was all basically the same brand, nothing real special about it. And that's in a Walmart superstore in a fairly major capital city metropolitan area. So I'm not quite sure exactly what we're going to be facing, but we all need to be as ready and be prepared as we can. This is the Prepared Suburbanite, reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.